Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls. I'm a value growth advisor and the author of the best-selling book, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. I'm coming to you, as always, from New Hampshire, and as always, I start with another piece of trivia about the state of New Hampshire. This time, it's about the town of Wolfboro. Now, Wolfboro is known as the quintessential New England community. It's also the oldest summer resort in America. That's Wolfboro, New Hampshire. So today I am joined by Jessica Pettitt. Jessica, you're coming to us from where?
Eureka, California.
Eureka, California. Welcome. Obviously, it's colder there than here. But before we get into our conversation today, I wanted to introduce you to our listeners so they know why you should be part of this conversation. Jessica Pettitt has a master's in education. She's a CSP and pulls together her stand-up comedy routine with years of 15 plus years of diversity training in a wide range of organizations to serve groups, to move from abstract fears to actionable habits that lead teams to want to work together. With a sense of belonging and understanding, colleagues take more risks with their ideation, conserve precious resources through collaboration, and maintain real connections with clients over time. That's powerful. Thank you so much, Jessica, again for joining me here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So our topic for today with our 7-question interview is good enough now. And I think that's really important because people always talk about good enough, but they don't add that now. And they never get there. So I'm really interested in everything that you bring to the table in this discussion. Are you ready for our 7 questions in 7 minutes?
Sure.
Number 1, who is your ideal client, Jessica?
Ideal client would be living human beings with checkbooks.
Okay. So therefore, we go on to question number 2. What problem are you trying to solve when you think about middle market businesses?
I am healing the harm of really bad diversity trainings while also increasing people's communication skills and their ability to work together as a team across difference. So what I do is a diversity training, but it's actually effective and it actually sticks.
That's a great claim. Number 3, what do you see are the typical symptoms of that problem that business owners are experiencing or that they're talking about?
2 problems. The first one is this isn't a problem I need to deal with. It's not in our industry. We don't need to worry about this. Maybe like those individual people, usually people of color who happen to work inside of that business, they're the ones who have to deal with this. That's the biggest problem because if it's not something that we're addressing in a cultural, holistic way, then nothing's going to happen. You're going to burn out your employees and you're going to lose loyalty of clients or customers because diversity means a lot of different things. The other one, and this is the one that gets ignored the most, is the people who are like, oh, we've already done that. We've already read that book. We had that training last year. We're great. And that we'll talk about this later with the next question, but diversity training is a journey. It's about equity as much as it is inclusion, and it is never done. You are never above or exempt from the work.
I like your idea that you're never done because it's something that we always need to keep growing and refining and improving. Mm-hmm. That's terrific. So onward to our 5th question, Jessica. Fourth question, what are the most common mistakes that you see owners making when they think they've solved the problem or they keep trying to solve it all by themselves on their own?
So they kind of the same 2 problems is they hire one person to do it for the entire company without institutionally supporting them, giving them social capital or even financial resources. So they're setting them up to fail, which then affirms like a heat-seeking missile. It's confirmation bias that those people, whoever these different people are, aren't cut out to be here anyway. Or again, they did it once. And so it's something that everybody's supposed to be involved with. So we'll paint a mural and then talk about it, but not actually do anything that manifests any kind of increased sense of belonging or loyalty.
It sounds like what I just heard is they will take on the superficial efforts to be able to check the box, but nothing substantive that will take root and get the results that they really need.
Right. So over my 15-year career, I've gotten very good at turning down checkbox programs. I won't even work with them anymore.
You have to for what you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
So then what's one valuable free action that you can suggest to our audience so that what can they implement that will actually bring more value to their business, thinking about diversity and inclusion?
So most of the time, whenever we get feedback from employees, exit interviews, or even customers and clients, we tend to only remember the negatives. So use that to your advantage. So of the negative things that are on Yelp or that you hear or that you get back in surveys or something, what are the patterns of the people who are complaining and what are they complaining about? Then those are your starting places for real conversations. You may not be able to fix it, and the more likely you are not able to flip this widget and then fix it, the better chance that that's a conversation you need to have as an organization. If that's too gross because it's like negative or people don't want to be critical of their own business or do real work, then go to all the compliments that you get. All the compliments, your reputation, what people would say about you, who or what are the demographics that are in common with the people that do really resonate with you. The first big question when doing inclusion work is to be very aware of who you are not working with, who you are excluding, who you are not targeting. And the clearer you are with that, then you can actually work with who you are including. Those are both free tips.
That was great. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. So building on that, Jessica, what's one valuable free resource that you can direct our audience to that will further help them working on this problem?
Sure. So my book, Good Enough Now, has a number of activities that you can go through as a leadership development process with your leadership in your organization. You can even do it by yourself as personal development. And you can download all of those activities at goodenough.com/freebies, FREEBIES, and do all the activities on your own. You don't even have to buy the book.
Well, that's really generous. That's terrific that people can go there now and actually take the exercises. That's very helpful. So building on all of that, what's one question that I should have asked you that I didn't? What's the question? Provide the answer, please.
So I get questioned a lot. Like you said at the top that you liked the idea of good enough, and it gets questioned a lot because it's not exceptional. So why did I stick with good enough now instead of like, be the best you can be ever, forever? And the reality is be the best you can be forever and ever and ever is deeply rooted in perfectionism, which is actually freezing our innovation and our creativity and our ability to connect with one another. So when I dive into when we're kind of in some state of paralysis and we can't grow, we can't connect, we don't know what to do, if we could try, then we're at least kind of building up some momentum and we can engage in some of those challenging conversations that we're avoiding. That's doing real work. That's good enough now. And my mantra is do the best you can with what you got some of the time, because it's better than nothing.
It's taking action and moving forward rather than setting yourself up for failure by going after the best of the best or perfection and never achieving it.
Sure. I actually like failure. I think you learn a lot from failure. And if you're doing something that will lead you to failing, you're at least trying something new.
You're trying. Mm-hmm. It's taking the effort, exploring what doesn't work. And it's all those different options that you eliminate so you can refine down to what will work. Absolutely. Jessica Pettitt, thank you so much for joining me here on the 3X Value Growth Podcast. I really appreciate having you and bringing this rich idea of how feasible it is to do this. It's not an insurmountable mountain. It's really been a pleasure having you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 7 questions in 7 minutes, and we both have 3 steps. Good job.
Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvalue.com. 3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.